Hello, today we got to play Mich in the Downgeon, which is not dungeon.
It's similar, but different.
So this game is a Kickstarter preview.
Well, it's already up and live right now.
We're slackers.
Yes, it's coming. It's going from, it started April 30th and it's going through May 28th. So there's still plenty of time to back and support this.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a print and play. I think they're also selling actual cards, right?
Nope. It's all print and play.
It's all print and play. Okay. So this...
And I'm sure your print job can be better than mine.
Yeah, I don't know why Randy didn't just print these on cardstock.
I'm so technologically backwards for an IT person.
Literally, you just put cardstock in the printer. I guess he couldn't figure out how to change the paper types.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, I didn't know we had cardstock, so there's that. And I didn't know you put cardstock in the printers. Because I don't print things. I work in data.
And the crafty wife knows it all. Okay. So we ended up printing it and ended up playing it. So, Randy, tell us more about it.
Sure. This is a 2024 release, 1 to 5 player game, 20 to 40 minutes average length, which is about right. Age 12 and up. It is a fairly, I mean, compared to a lot of the other roll and writes I've seen, this one is a little more advanced, so probably 12 and up is not a bad idea. I mean, you might be able to get someone younger. I don't know if Sarah could play this and understand it. Designed by Alexis Martinez. Didn't have an artist listed, interestingly, even though I really like the cartoon art on it. Published by RAR Games. The campaign, as I mentioned, is on Kickstarter. We'll put the link in the comments below. And it ends May 28th, 2024. Now, there's 2 different backing levels. In addition, you can add on other games from the RAR Games collection. The starter pack is $5. Actually a pretty good deal. That's basically what we got here. We have one Downgeon, and it's got, we got 4 bosses provided to us for demoing. There's actually only 2 in the starter, and then 10 equipment plus any stretch goals. And I think they've unlocked already 7 additional cards from stretch goals. The deluxe version is only $11, and you get 3 different maps, 5 bosses, and 18 equipment plus all the stretch goals.
Okay, so cool. Alright, so obviously quality of components, it's
up to your printing.
Yep, it's up to your printing ability.
And you can do it better than mine.
Now, as far as quality as like artwork, like you said, and kind of going into theme, artwork is really cute. It's definitely cute. I mean, and I liked it. So,
yeah, I like, especially the little, ones in the rule book, the little cat and the creature, whatever that is.
Yeah, well, and even like the cards, like you have, it's really,
the equipment.
It's a really cutesy dungeon theme, and I liked it. Yeah. You see, like, I wouldn't mind at all Sarah playing. And
no, from a theme standpoint, I don't think it's, it's not adult oriented. It's definitely kid friendly. I just don't know that she would get the logic behind it.
Yeah, I think she could. I think she could play it. I don't think that she would get very well. She could get somewhere. I just don't know how far.
Definitely, it's a fun theme, and especially since dungeon delves were very popular amongst most gamers. I'm not an RPGer, but I still found this entertaining.
So, moving on to the actual gameplay. So, we have our little boards, and we're going to flip over
2 cards. And we're going to have 3 equipment available to acquire, and you choose from those, and then we backfill.
So 2 cards are going to be flipped over. Those 2 cards you have to do both of them. So in this case, you have to do 1 U, and you got a plethora of options in this go around. So now something to notate, you have to start with there's a cat with 4 lines drawn.
Kind of entrance way to the...
Yeah, so no matter what, you have to start from one of the lines you have previously drawn. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that on your sheet there are barriers that you have to go in the direction of. So there are barriers that are like this. If you're coming down, like, you have to go that way. So just kind of be aware of that when you make your choices. And the goal, obviously, is to actually close in areas, creating walls and rooms for your dungeon. And So
there's one particularly nasty barrier where it's an X, where basically you have just endpoints. Your endpoints have to just stop there.
Yeah, that made it pretty...
Yeah, that was a pain.
Yeah, mine wasn't too bad, but it was still annoying.
Yeah. One is a wild, and it's basically got 3 lines to it in multiple different directions, so you can try to craft the shapes, because it's specific closed-off areas that look like polyomino Tetris type pieces. If you form them, you get inventory that lets you acquire equipment or defeat monsters.
Yeah, resources essentially.
Yeah, or you can use them to give you power-ups, which is really cool. You know, just trying to figure out the combinations. You can get some nice combos going as you play through this.
Absolutely. So definitely a very unique way to do that, because you're trying to close off the rooms in such a way to get the right shapes you need, because sometimes it's really easy to get some of the smaller ones, but you need some of the bigger ones to get some of the bigger stuff going. So it is a little bit more meticulous on like, okay, what shape am I drawing? How am I doing that?
Yeah.
So I actually enjoyed that aspect of it quite a bit.
And once you've made a shape, you shade it out when you use it, so you can't go back and like cut it off and make 2 shapes out of it or anything like that.
Correct. So overall, I actually really enjoyed this one. I like the fact that each resource had multiple things to do with it a lot of the time. There's a lot of like doing this, doing that. The only thing that I think both of us were kind of concerned was the actual scoring mechanism. So as you complete things, you'll gain golden fish. Like as you
Fish bones.
Fish bones. As you complete solid rolls, as you defeat so many monsters, you get these fish bones. The score is very, very tight in the fact that it's probably going to be 1 point of difference, if that. Like, and the only reason why I think there was a point of difference for us is I actually defeated the boss.
Yeah.
And that was the only difference. Because once the boss is defeated, it's done. And that makes me almost think that...
Well, the game is over whenever you cannot fill in another space down there.
No, what I'm saying is that's the only scoring difference. So, like, if I won
you flip the boss over and somebody else can still get a point from it. I just never did.
Right. But yes, but so that was my concern, is that the points are just... So...
They are very tight, and we both agree on that. Yeah, the scoring is, we had a 1 point difference, as you mentioned, and I'm afraid that's going to be fairly common.
Yeah, so I will say it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed the puzzle bit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it is golden fish, because you get this cat going in and he's trying to collect fish bones. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cute.
And and then there's different with the solo game. They have a different mechanism for scoring. It's a completely different playthrough. In the rules, there's actually a totally separate section for the solo game that explains that, and each board has its own rule book pages. So it's like 2 pages for just this map. So I thought that was indicative that we're going to see differences from each map, from map to map.
I feel like that's probably true.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a look if you don't mind the print and play. I think from a roll and write standpoint, print and play makes perfect sense. I'm not a big proponent of print and play in general, but for roll and writes, I mean, basically you're getting a bunch of paper and maybe some dice, which you already probably have. In this case, we don't need them because it's got cards.
Yeah, and honestly, you can make them really nice if you wanted to. For example, if you wanted to send them to a printer, you could if you wanted to shell out the money. All right, guys. Well, we love hanging out with you. Hopefully, you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.